So for today's deep dive, we're tackling something I think everyone has an opinion on: office politics.
Mm-hmm. The old who you know versus what you know.
Exactly. And the common wisdom is always that politics is the shortcut, you know? You play the game, you climb the ladder. But the source material we're digging into today, it argues the complete opposite.
It's a pretty provocative stance, actually. The core idea is that we overvalue all that social stuff, and we undervalue the hard logic of what the source calls competence assets.
Okay, hold on. One phrase that jumped out at me was that being a person is merely leverage. I mean, that sounds incredibly cynical.
It sounds cold, I know.
Yeah.
But look at the distinction it makes. It separates environmental assets from competence assets.
Right.
So environmental assets are, you're standing in a very specific office culture. You know how to get the Q3 budget approved, or you know exactly how to pitch an idea to that one specific VP.
Okay, I see that. It's valuable, but it's valuable right here, right now.
Exactly. It's non-transferable. If that VP leaves or the company gets acquired.
Your asset is basically worthless. You can't put "was great at navigating the 2024 internal filing system" on a resume.
You can't. But competence assets, your logic, your coding skills, data analysis, those live in your brain. They travel with you. The goal isn't just security at one company. It's the freedom to leave anytime because the market values you.
That makes a lot of sense. But doesn't that create a kind of paradox? If I just buckle down and focus on my competence, my coding, do I just become a hermit? Surely we're not supposed to ignore people entirely.
No, not at all. But it completely redefines what a social skill even is in a high-performance setting. The argument is that the best social skill isn't charm, it's low transaction costs.
Transaction costs, what do you mean by that?
Think of it like friction. If I give you a task and I have to spend my own time checking your work, that's a tax on my attention. It's
Oh,
friction.
okay.
But if I could just blind forward your email to the CEO because I trust your work implicitly, you've just lowered the cost of working with you to zero.
I actually love that. It's like the halo effect. I like you because you save me mental energy, not because you brought me a coffee.
Precisely. You become this scarce resource. The source has a great line for this. Don't try to manage a network, become the network.
Become the connection worth having.
Yes, because you solve problems nobody else can.
So if execution is the engine, how do we tune it? The material gets into this strategic execution method. It's more than just work hard.
It's about working with higher leverage. There are three main axes. First is quantifiable results. You have to move beyond saying, I tried my best.
Right. It's about data. Did you save 20% of the team's time? Did you increase revenue by 5%? If you can't measure it, it almost didn't happen.
Harsh, but fair. The second is identify high-leverage tasks. This is the classic 80-20 rule. Ignore the busy work that nobody sees and focus only on what actually drives profit or efficiency.
And the third axis, which I think is key, is personal systems.
This is about productizing your own job, really. If you write the same email more than twice, that needs to be a template.
If you run the same analysis every week, that becomes a script.
Exactly. You're building a personal infrastructure. That's how you free yourself up to solve harder problems and actually compound your competence.
So bringing it all home, the source uses this mathematical analogy that I thought was perfect.
The 1 and the 0.
Yes, the 1 and the 0. Your competence, your ability to execute, that's the number 1.
And all the politics, the charm, the networking,
Yeah.
those are the zeros you add after it.
Put a 0 after a 1, you get 10. That's leverage. Add another, you get 100.
But if you don't have that 1 to begin with, you just have a string of zeros. You have nothing.
It's a fantastic reality check. But before we wrap up, there's a huge variable hanging over this whole conversation.
You have to be thinking about AI.
Of course. We're talking about how doing is the ultimate currency, the 1, but we're entering an era where AI is getting incredibly good at the doing part, the coding, the data analysis.
The execution itself is becoming a commodity.
And that's the final thought for everyone listening. If the 1 becomes automated and abundant, does the pendulum swing back? In 10 years, will the human element, the empathy, the politics, those zeros, suddenly become the scarce, valuable asset once again?
It's a fascinating gamble to think about.
It really is. Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive. Go build your wings. We'll see you next time.